Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahushai, Bahasham, Racha Kodesh. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone, and peace and blessings to the elect. And this is an interesting article here that was put in our group chat, and this is from the New York Post. The headline reads, "Horrifying video shows a masked fiend choke woman with belt on NYC street, drag body between cars to rape her." Okay, and this was published on May 9th, which is today. And when I'm not gonna play this because you know how YouTube gets. But if you just type in that headline or even something similar, I'm sure this article will pop up. And what it reads here, it says, "Horrifying video shows the moment a masked fiend used a belt to choke a woman unconscious on a Bronx street before dragging her to the ground and gripping her between two cars in a sickening attack last week." The terrifying ordeal unfolded around 3 a.m. May 1st as the perv followed the 45-year-old victim who was walking on the sidewalk at East 152nd Street and 3rd Avenue, cops said. And yeah, you can pretty much see the video. It's just as described here. Okay, they show really the dude, throwing the belt around her neck and all that. Now, what's interesting is it says here the NYPD Special Victims Unit is investigating the violent sexual assault, cops said. However, the victim has stopped cooperating with authorities. Interesting. The heinous crime comes as the department's crime stats from April revealed that 6 more rapes were reported last month, 124 compared to April of 2023, when the department filed 118 such reports. And as we kept telling you, especially with, a lot of police departments being understaffed and crime rates going up and, underfunding and all these things that are happening, a lot of these cases kind of just go, swept under the rug, right? Like they don't really get looked into and investigated. It's like there's a lot more cases than those that make it into the mainstream media via an article or whatever the case is, right? And so there are some of these cases where these victims just, they call the cops or whatever it is. Maybe the person who did it ran away, whatever that case is, but it sort of like ends there, right? They wait and wait and wait, and they don't ever really hear anything back. So it says, as of May 5th, a total of 511 grapes have been reported throughout the city, the same total as last year during that period. And, this what's interesting about this is this is also posted, on social media. And when you just read, when you see these kinds of things, and, I personally find it interesting to read the comments and, just see what people are saying about this. And amidst all of this happening, you still have majority of it is women. They come on the comment board. And I think one of them was saying, instead of instructing women on how to avoid these situations, instruct men to not do this, something along those lines, which at the end of the day, what it comes down to is a lot of people today, they just, they like to speak and say things that sound good, that things that can, garner support. People like that, like that. They get hyped up when they say these kinds of things, but you have to be practical and realistic, right? This situation of, women getting taken, and this is not like a new thing, right? This existed in the ancient world. It has existed for generations. So clearly, the idea of trying to say, hey, you should tell men to stop doing this. I mean, I'm sure there are laws against this, right? Here, especially in America, for example, and in other parts. But this is just for an example's sake. But yet it still happens. So you need to now think on a practical level and say, instead of getting, you know, you're saying, okay, stop men from doing this. That's clearly something that's not going to happen, right? Because what more can you do now? If this is something that you're saying, oh, no, you need to teach men, at the end of the day, people are going to do what they want to do at the end of the day, right? Judgment is still going to go out. So if you, on the other end, or the receiving side of it, are faced with a decision where you need to make, a decision, either trying to change something that you can control versus trying to change something that you personally cannot control, what is the most practical thing to do here? Okay. So really, yes, you should look at the situation and say, hey, you know what? Due to the signs of the times, you got to be careful when you are out. You got to be mindful of the time, be mindful of your surroundings. If you don't need to be there, don't be there, because the artificial reality that America has created, the false sense of security that America has created, is wearing off. And as this place starts to slip into, a third world country due to desperation, all this facade of a way of living is wearing off, which means that you need to now wisen up and realize that, no, you cannot just be walking out here in certain times by yourself, because things like this can happen, as you're seeing examples of them before. So using wisdom, applying wisdom, you plan around that, because that is something that you can control, versus jumping on the common board, or saying, it's like, if if you're I don't know, maybe you check the news in the morning and you see, you know what, it's going to rain today, and you say, you know what, I could take an umbrella, but why do I got to take an umbrella? Why doesn't it just not rain? So you know what, F it, I'm gonna go out anyway without an umbrella. You can't do anything about the rain, but you can take an umbrella so you don't get wet. Same thing. You as an individual cannot do anything about the state of, look, you could be walking down the street, and the Lord could put the spirit on an individual to just be like, F it. You know what I'm saying? I got some pressure built up, I need a target, and they just find you and grab you. I mean, what can you do to really stop that? Right? What can you do to really prevent this from happening universally or worldwide as a woman? Right? Or quote unquote, even as a society. If society just got up and said, you know what, this is something that we don't like and we want to stop it from happening, what can you actually really do to stop that? It's similar to trying to say that you're trying to establish a utopia. The reason the concept of a utopia can't happen now is because not everybody is going to be on board to agree to the same thing. You're always going to have outliers. Always going to have people that are going to do otherwise. Okay, so the whole world will not agree to, change things. And you don't have the power to cause that to happen. Therefore, you need to use wisdom and say, right now, whether you like it or not, this is the reality. And it's going to get worse. Okay, as times get worse and people get more desperate. And I believe there was another comment that was like, oh, the elder had mentioned it in our chat, right? I think there's like a woman saying that they would rather be in the woods alone than to be with a man. I would like to see that. When all hell breaks loose, I'd like to see who keeps that energy. Be in the woods alone. Look, there was a point in time when I used to do Instacart, and you deliver to some of these like Edomite neighborhoods, and there's some areas, like if it's late and you driving, the only lights in the area, because some of these Edomites, they live actually in their areas. There's a lot of trees and woods and all of that. You got to drive up certain roads before you find their area where there's the houses and stuff. In the daytime is one thing. In the nighttime, the only light there is your car's headlights. Okay, that's literally how dark it is. So you be put in that situation, and then say, you know what, you would rather prefer this than to be with a man. And what it comes down to is you don't really know what you're saying. But this is why, right? The scriptures say, Isaiah 32:11, tremble, ye women that are at ease. Be troubled, ye careless ones. You see? Strip you and make you bare and gird sackcloth upon your loins. Because when as times get tough, remember that in a situation like this, like the article that I just read, you're the prey. Okay? You're the prey. The scriptures say that the woman is the weaker vessel. So you are, you know, basically, a potential target, so to speak. And as things get bad, you're gonna need protection. And with a proud attitude like that, you're not gonna get it. Okay, but that's a part of the reality check that's coming. And that's why the Most High blessed us with wisdom and knowledge and understanding so that we can navigate in these times. Evil lurks on every corner, but ultimately, at the end of the day, the only real safety is going to be from Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. You had, look, this event that took place, there were cameras. That's how they got the video footage. But the dude didn't care. Who the hell walks out with a belt? I mean, dude, like literally, flung the belt on her neck like this is a movie scene. And right in between two cars in public. Right, but at 3 a.m. Now, if this was like 12 p.m. in the afternoon, there would be people around, right? So you got to, what I'm saying, these are things that you got to think about. Like, yo, what I'm saying, maybe let me take an Uber, or let me, 3 a.m. What you working overnight or something? Like, what's going on here? But you got to be able to plan around these things, man. That is just the condition of the battle. And if you want to spend the rest of your life moping about it, that's not going to change what the situation is. Okay, and like I said, this is only, going to get worse as times get tough, and basically going back to the point that I was making, there were cameras over there. Okay. The society is still somewhat functioning, right? You can still call the cops, you can still call 911, like you can still do all these things, and yet these events happen. How much more for when there is no 911? There is no, oh, this is happening. I know of a surety there is someone I can call that can come to my aid, or I can just scream, and as long as I make enough noise to get attention, this person will probably run off or something like that. The times we're coming into, that won't be the situation. You will literally be at the mercy of this whoever's attacking you or whatever the case is. And in a case like that, you need Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. Let's go real quick to the book of Proverbs chapter 18, verse 10. The name of the Lord Yahweh is a strong tower. The righteous runneth into it and is safe. See? The name of the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, which a lot of these people don't believe in, okay? But even worse, they mock it. Guess what? That's the stronger protection than the cops, than your friend, than your father, than your man. That's the strongest protection. And the beautiful thing about it is the Lord is always there. He's always watching. You can call the cops, you can call 911, and they may not come there in time. You can try to take out your phone to make a call, and there may not be reception, or your phone might drop. Or as you're trying to unlock it, the dude smacks the phone out your hand. Or you call your father or your brother or your husband or whatnot, and they don't pick up. There's a whole lot of things that can go wrong when you try to depend on man, on flesh, as opposed to putting your trust in Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, who literally controls everything. Like, think about it. Think about how much more efficient that is, that the one you can reach the fastest in any situation is actually the one who can deliver you out of any situation. As opposed to anybody else who look, if you were out at 3 a.m. and you saw somebody, some weird dude looking at you some type of way, then he starts following you, he's touching himself a kind of way, and he's like walking faster and shit, and you are not near your house, and you call your man or your brother or your father, what are they actually in that moment? I mean, they can probably give you advice on like what to do, but aside from talking to you what can they actually do in that moment? If you call them and this dude is right behind you, what could they actually do? Because their voice is not what's going to scare this guy away. See, and it's the same thing when you're calling 911. You're on the phone with the operator. The operator needs to know, where are you? Now you need to tell them, boy, you're nervous. You're not sure what's going on. You got to see if you can find out what street you're on, unless you know exactly where you are, which is one thing. But even when you tell them that, now they need to then relay the message, dispatch authorities, whoever's around, and send out that call so they can try to get to you. And that's even if you're able to finish the whatever it is you have to say, because with all the, remember, like 911, they don't just get calls from real life situations, but they also get calls from situations that people, like, they just call just to prank them or just call for some arbitrary reason that maybe that's not even the right service for. And you better hope the person that you reach takes what you're saying seriously and not think that, oh, because you hung up prematurely, maybe it's just a prank or something. See all these cases here that can make, these situations very stressful for somebody. But hey, something like that happens, you pray to the Lord got you. And at that point, there's an infinite amount of ways the Lord can deliver you. Okay, a whole bunch of infinite amount of ways, and you don't even need to worry about what way the Lord is going to do it. Just know that the Lord is going to get you out of there. That's like the one of the ultimate benefits of believing in Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua and serving the Lord, is that you're good, you're protected, no matter what the situation is. And you don't even need to worry about how the protection is going to come. You just know that if something goes down, the Lord got you. He'll deliver you. See, but the rest of these people that are not covered by the Lord, and the Lord doesn't extend mercy to them, you're going to be caught out there, and it will not be pretty. Okay, so hey, that's that, man. But there's a reason why the scriptures say, what they say, and very soon, by a harsh reality, people are gonna wake up to that. Anyway, I'm gonna end it here. Lord willing, that was edifying to the elect. In closing, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham Yahushai, Bahasham Rachak Kodash. And until next time, Shalom.